Hey there guys, welcome back to another episode of Spartan Crew Gaming, and today we're talking about Middle-earth Shadow of War and the Desolation of Mordor DLC, which just got its release date for May 8th. We got a bunch of news to cover, so let's jump into it. So in the background, of course, I have the Desolation of Mordor DLC cover art, and we're going to be talking about the news that was revealed in the live stream. Jared, the community manager, gave us some pretty cool hints, and I gotta say, they're pretty revealing, and I like them. So here we go. So first off, we're going to have some new allies and new parts of the Nemesis system that are human. They're going to be called the Vanishing Sun Mercenaries, and of course this is in Lithlad near the Haradrim and the Rune, I think, people. So basically, we will be having these Haradrim kind of warriors as mercenaries in the Nemesis system. They will have their own traits that are completely separate from orc traits, completely different. And Jared said to mine that humans tend to be more cooperative than orcs, so there are things that you see in humans that will be completely different from orcs, which, absolutely makes sense. And I just think it's really cool that we're going to finally get humans in the Nemesis system now. And of course, you can't, shame them or hurt them or anything like you would an orc with the ring, because you don't have the ring and you're a human. So it's very exciting to see what's actually going to be happening here with the Vanishing Sun Mercenary Company, what they're going to be doing. Of course, being in Haradrim with this desert is pretty awesome. Also, we got some new beasts called the Lair Worm. So if you look in the background of this picture, basically there's this big worm in the background, so I'm excited to be fighting that. So I'm supposing it's going to be a huge boss fight, and it's called the Lair Worm. And I'm excited because I like big boss fights, and I think it would be really, really cool. Next up, let's talk about gear. So Baranor is, a man that does not have elf powers. So basically, he will be using gear, and Torvin, the dwarf we met in Shadow of Mordor, will be giving him that gear. As you can see, he has a sword and a shield, so he will be fighting a lot different, hopefully, from Atariel and Talion, and I believe it'll be really cool to see how he fights, especially with that sword and shield. Also, he is mortal, so basically they mentioned that there's kind of like a meta game, and then like a meta progress, and then an overarching progress of the story. Basically, they're expecting you to die a lot, so I don't know if they mean like it's going to be hardcore, like survival. I was kind of confused with what he meant by that, but I'm excited to see where that's going to go. If it's like, okay, you have to start from the beginning again, or if it's going to be a little more Dark Souls hardcore. I don't know. It sounds interesting, and they definitely expect you to die a few times in this DLC. That's what they said, so I don't know exactly what Jared meant by that, but it was very interesting. Definitely listen to that in the stream itself. I didn't completely catch what he was saying. And I think he meant it to be that way. He's kind of vague with some of the hints, but nonetheless, it does seem like the game will be a little more hardcore, seeing that you are human and not an elf. So progress will work in a different way because you'll be dying. So yeah. But it's interesting because you get this cool gear. You're going to be having new mobility, of course. Torvin's going to be building you a glider, kite, and a grappling hook, which I'm sure you'll probably use in unison to fly around like Batman, if I'm thinking anything. Which, it kind of sounds a little far-fetched for Middle-earth, but, anything can happen if you got a dwarf with you. And, I think it's okay for a game. So really cool that he's going to have a glider and such, and I think that's very interesting. So let's talk about what's going to be, of course, coming to the base game of Shadow of Mordor. I mean Shadow of War, not Shadow of Mordor. I got it wrong. So, of course, we'll be getting some free updates. He didn't exactly specify what's going to be in there, but, of course, if there's any new orc traits, they're going to be transferred over to, the main game, just like with the Atariel DLC. I could see that happening. Also, there's probably going to be skins for, Baranor in the base game. Actually, there will be. That has been confirmed. And hopefully some new skins. Also, some Numenorian armor upgrades. I think you'll be doing treasure hunts for those in the game, which will be also really cool. And for the Desolation of Mordor DLC, not the base game. So people in the chat were asking, of course, if Torvin would be a playable character in the DLC, and he kind of said no comment, so that makes me believe probably he won't be. And then some people were asking, would he be a bodyguard? Now, I could definitely see that happen. Now, I'd love to play as Torvin, and the fact that he did say no comment kind of, I think, leaves it 50-50. But I'm excited to see where this DLC goes. Overall, this whole art reveal and everything they have, and just the stuff they've revealed, and the release date, which is May 8th, has me really excited. They'll be giving us gameplay next week, which will be really interesting, and a trailer very soon, which I'll be breaking down, of course, here on the channel. But guys, that is all the news I got for you. Thank you so much for watching. You are an amazing crowd, and I cannot do this without you, and I could not do it without God. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to hit that bell, because apparently it helps a ton in notifying subscribers. And be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. This is your host, your friend, and your commentator, Spartan Crew Gaming, signing off. See ya next time.